Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have a fun one for you guys today. It's a 2v2 between myself and Heinz, and Union and Wombat to Combat, spelled backward. Of course, he is a captain and has featured on a couple of matches so far on the channel, hopefully much more to come. And this was a bit of a weird one, so my communication with my ally here was not completely up to par at the beginning, and he ends up going toward Golf and Bravo, while I just send a whole big column around to the side on the other end of Fox. I also did buy Canine Thunder, but I was a little bit late on using it. It should be, when you do that initial buy, well, just firing as soon as you have any sort of idea of where your opponent is going. So, OH1 Ninja does get a cheeky first kill there against a Hera 2, and that does blind our opponent some little bit. It also gives us an indication of who we're playing against. It looks like Yugoslavia and or Entente. Probably Entente is the more competitive deck. I'm playing as Blue Dragons, my personal favorite here, and my ally is playing as, it looks like, Euro Core. So, very powerful deck choices from that end. And before the match goes any further, may I just say, team coordination, I think, made the difference here. So you're going to see a lot of plays on this match that could have gone very differently, and it really just came down to each ally and each opponent knowing what the other wants to do, where we have assets, where we don't. And speaking of assets, I'm about to lose one as this AH1J, a little too far ahead of any sort of protection, does go down to an L17K. I love these guys. Wonderful helicopter hunters, very cheap, very effective, very reliable. The H1J isn't something that's valuable enough you'd ordinarily go in for it, but I was so far forward that probably felt like a safe bet. We do also see a Sava and a Kub, and that is going to be an issue, but the L17K stays around just long enough. My KF-16C is trying to see if I can get lucky. I thought maybe this was a bait. It turns out not so much, so the L17 just kind of takes it right to the face there, and we do get a little bit of revenge. But as you can see, we are moving forward, encountering Wombat to Combat over here as well, and my stuff is getting unloaded, as my ally Heinz is having to deal with both sides of this advance. So Union's forces in Bravo are, that's pretty good fire support there from the T-55s. Not really heavy tanks of any sort, but certainly more than capable. Chumat is fending off Wombat a little bit, and here, just taking a look at the overall map, we kind of sensed a bit of an opportunity, which is, ignoring my ugly unloading here with Chumat in the open, we could try to pick on the captain and leave the unranked player, who is a little bit newer, certainly than the captain, to try to work on his own, right? So if we can come in from this side and through the center part of the map here, working together, getting a nice combined arms collapse in on Fox, maybe we could do enough damage to the captain to take him out of the equation and then sort of push through on that side. So we're trying to 2v1. I did just lose a ninja down to one of those, I think it was the Sava, probably. Decent range in the Sava, and I didn't quite spot him before being able to get out. But you can see these T-55s are doing pretty well, Zelaznichi as well, engaging with Rovait, but with the Auxiliaries behind them, that's not going to be a nice combat for those guys, and I need to do something else here. My Chumat, almost into these woods, are just taken out by a single tank shot, and that's a lot of long-range firepower that I wanted to have up this far forward. You can deny your opponent's reinforcements a little bit, you can make engaging in this town very easy if you have that sort of fire support up. Not to mention, you can make life very difficult for anyone on the Red Force side trying to secure this part of Fox, which, that was our intention anyway. But the Chumat there with an M84AN kill, for those of you who are Eli-ed. If not, just, do that double tap, scroll back 10 seconds, and take a look. It was just there on the edge of the screen, should be anyway. The Chumat down to one man, but all of his missiles used, and a very nice effect here. We have sort of surrendered Bravo entirely. There's a light hold in Alpha, and almost certainly Union has the advantage in numbers here, as Heinz is split between Alpha and Golf, but Union seems to be operating pretty much only in Charlie Bravo, so right away that should probably tell the Red 4 team push through here, or at least get Union going that direction to pull away attention from Heinz and force me to either have units doing nothing or to attack on my own against Wombat, which at least then would be me going against Captain 1v1 instead of 2v2. Proletariat 90 are pushing forward, a bit of an expensive unit to do that sort of blind push with, and they are going to, pay the piper for it right there. 9 men to 5 to 1 to dead for that 25 point unit is a little bit unfortunate. Kyotoku WAPC engaging with the Tantra, not really that impactful here, but we will get the kill, and an AMX-10 is moving up as well. And you can see we're starting to pad out, we're starting to have enough time to pad out this side of the board. Hachi Nanoshiki and a K1, a couple of Nanoyanshiki Gs, and some infantry being called forward, and Heinz and I are planning basically we consolidate our forces right here. We use our leverage advantages on the flanks and push forward. We do also have a bit of an interesting thing. Hudao Ren are engaging in the open field against Solzhenitsyn and Proletary. I knew these guys were here. I knew, well, something was there anyway, and my intention was for the Hudao Ren not to take quite that much fire, but the Nanayan Cheeky Gs are absolutely brutal with those Mark 19s, and they're clearing out Proletary faster than I thought was possible, particularly when supported by another Kyuroku that went around the side. So we do manage to get quite a lot of damage done there, and the sacrificial Hudao Ren, I mean, 20 points, not exactly great. Proletary are 15, so we're at a little bit of a loss, but damaging the Zalaznichi and being able to take the town is certainly an advantage. Yeah, I mean, committing a lot of resources there compared to what we're killing, but at least it's being killed somewhat effectively, down to 7 strength, and we will engage there later on. But for right now, we have more important things going on. Auxiliaries moving up, AMX-10s, Hachi Nanashikis. The Canine Thunder has been firing and moving quite a bit into these woods. Not that great effect, really. I mean, those things are best at killing unloaded infantry in known positions, and I was firing in at tanks that happen to be in these woods as well. So something I would advise, just looking at the replay, is maybe don't fire in here so much. Try and get some shots in on that line, but it is hard to do that with any semblance of accuracy. So Zalaznichi and Oats headed over into these woods, trying to clear them out, but timed just with our offensive here. You can see the Sava identified double squad of Nanayan Shiki Gs, providing great fire support with a K1, as well as the Eurocore, or no, I guess generic Blue 4, Auxiliaries and AMX-10s. Generic Blue 4 player, I guess, Heinz, is moving up with some very heavy armored vehicles and well-protected Rovait. We're providing the punch, he's providing the bodies. KF-16C going after a Super Galib and just able to get it, working with a Tansam, and another KF-16C taking that other MiG out of the sky. So nice work there overall. The bomber does always get through, and there's the napalm, so pretty well placed. Honestly, these Auxiliaries and Rovait are really going to struggle, particularly if they force path through, which they are. That's a way to take a lot of damage, and napalm is walking right through it. Kind of surprised the Auxiliaries didn't take more, to be honest. Wow, okay. Very well, but they are running right into an M84AN, which cannot be anything approaching a comfortable situation. Foxtrot was additionally capped, and now Union and Wombat are getting a +1, but we are definitely getting some nice pressure on Wombat, and there hasn't really been any sort of response from Union, so I would have liked to have seen that. But, you know, that's just how it is sometimes. Anyway, we have K200s, Hachinashikis engaging in the woods. Clearing out these woods, clearing out that side is going to be basically what allows us to win the game, as Wombat does surrender and a Peace Pheasant comes in with the coup de grace, 2 kills on AA pieces to finish the game there. So one of my favorite units in the entire game, that Peace Pheasant 2, and a very nice quick game. Shout out to both Union and Wombat for a very pleasant evening when we played that game, and also to Heinz for some great teamwork. Kills and losses, 1235 kills, 750 losses. For the amount of time we were playing, that's pretty nice, I think, and the 500 point or so separation is also the sign of, I mean, it's why Wombat surrendered, right? That was, a lot of those losses were his. Not all. Union did get some engagements there early on, but that's a hard point deficit to come back from when you're getting 2v1'd. I've been there before, it's not pleasant. Units that did very well, we have the Kyurokus getting some nice fire support here, Nanayan Shiki Gs getting a bunch of kills over on that northeast side. Other than that, it was a lot of fire support, I guess. Hachi Nanashiki killing a Sava and Proletary is always going to be a good thing, and then the Peace Pheasant 2 at the end did very nice. A couple of nice fighters as well, and the KF-16Cs are always going to get some good work done, and it looks like the short arrow actually got the last shot on the Super Galib. So, that's all I've got for you guys today. Nice short one, but no less fun for it. Thank you guys for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.